Okay, well, thank you all for being here. I wanted to give you a quick briefing on the officer-involved shooting investigation that's underway here in the 2600 block of Fairview Street. Preliminary information is that around 1:15 this afternoon, KPD officers responded to what was reported as a domestic situation in progress involving a man armed with a knife, or excuse me, an axe, a man armed with an axe. Officers quickly responded on scene where they confronted the man. And shortly after that initial encounter, shots were fired. The man was struck at least one time, and he has since been transported to an area hospital. At the time of the transport, he was alert and conscious, so we're waiting on an additional update from the hospital. Still gathering a whole lot more information. This is very preliminary at this point. The initial report was that it was a domestic situation in progress with a man armed with an axe who was acting both belligerent and violent. And then shortly after that initial confrontation, shots were fired. Per standard protocol, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation will be leading the investigation into the circumstances leading up to and the shooting. And as we'll conduct our own internal administrative investigation to determine if the response was in compliance with policy and procedures. And in addition, per policy of our department, we will release the relevant police video as quickly as possible. Expectation is to do that within 2 weeks at maximum.
And so just to clarify, it was police that shot the man, is that correct?
That is correct. There was an officer-involved shooting. Yes.
And then also, I heard from neighbors in the area that the whole scene, when officers were on scene to when the shooting happened, was really quick, about a minute. Do you know timeline-wise?
I don't know the exact timeline, but the initial call came out around 1:15, just a little before 1:15, and the reports of shots fired was just after 1:20, around 1:21 p.m., according to the dispatch call screen. Again, very preliminary. We anticipate going back and continuing to gather more information throughout the remainder of the afternoon, and then having a larger news release with any more details that we can share. That's preliminary information we have at this time. We fully anticipate as being as transparent and as open as possible as we can throughout this investigation. As you all know and you've seen, that is our policy to release the relevant police video in a reasonable, expeditious timeline, and we intend on doing that in this case as well. Appreciate you.
Do you have any idea of charges or anything that he's facing?
Unknown at this time. Again, still very preliminary at this point, but the situation, again, to reiterate, it was a domestic situation in progress, acting belligerent and violent, and officers responded on scene, and then shortly after, shots were fired. So,
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I do not know that right now, but we'll know that as this investigation progresses.
Do we know the current condition of
The last condition at the time of the transport was that he was alert and conscious. We have not gotten an update since then, but we hope to have an update in our news release later this afternoon, once we've had an opportunity to gather more of the facts and circumstances.
Also, I don't know if you know this at this point, but is there a history of calls to this location?
I don't know that right now. Again, we're just still standing here. We're within basically an hour of the initial incident, so still very early in our fact finding and information gathering process. Appreciate you all. Thanks so much.